Hey, welcome to Neversink Farm and welcome to the Neversink Farm Tomato House. And I want to talk about different trellising methods for lowering tomatoes. This is actually the one I started out with, which is the roller hook, about 15 years ago. And this is tomahawk, which is pretty much the same idea. These hang on your trellis structure, okay? It's on a roll, so you squeeze it, and then it lets the string down, right? That's the idea. So that when you're lowering them, I would get on a ladder, go up, lower them, and try to do it in a controlled way. It's just not easy. And the tomato would be clipped all along the string as it goes up. And as it grows, just keep adding clips. That's the idea. This is exactly the same concept, except you do get a little more control out of these because you flip them, right? That goes on your structure, okay? And then you keep flipping it, okay? The problem with the tomahawk is it has to be used on a wire. There's no other way to do it, right? And that squeezes the wire inside that crotch there. But you get much better control out of it because you're just flipping it back and forth to lower it. But it's the same idea with the clips. You're clipping it onto the string and just using clips as you go up. When I was using these, the main problem was having to get on a ladder. This is actually the ladder I used. That's how old this ladder is. And I put something on the bottom. If you can see that bar, that's so the ladder doesn't sink into the soil as I'm going, right? Because, it's obviously earth in here. And so as you go, you can be sinking into soft beds and stuff. The other problem is just control of it. Having a controlled release of them is kind of difficult. Lastly is, there's two types of way of doing this. You can be lowering and leaning them, right? And that's where you're taking a plant and making it at an angle. And in that case, you really do need wire because these are intended to catch onto the wire so that you can hold it at an angle, right? These are too, but these can actually be used in lower for the wicket system so that you can hang it straight and then just have it on a wicket. They work for that, but you still got to get on a ladder. Yeah, so those are those two types. And then there's the hook type or clipper system. And here's the hook, and then it has two clips, but only two clips. So you see how I can do this all from the ground, right? So I reach up to the system. And just like the other ones, it has this that's supposed to clamp onto a wire, right? If you're going to do a leaning system. But if you're not doing a leaning system and you're just putting them on wickets, then it can go right on a pipe without any changing it at all. And then there's two clips, and I have this representing the plant. And all this does is, so I'll move that up so you can see what it looks like when it's growing, is you always have two clips, and now we're just taking that clip off and lowering it like this. And this way I don't have to get up on a ladder to do it. And I can actually move them, okay? If you're leaning, right, then it will move like this. But on a pipe, it's just gonna slide, right? It catches a little bit, but, right, really easy to do without a ladder. The other option is that you have your trellising structure at a height you can reach. Usually that's a little bit too low. That's kind of a problem. Also, with a system like this, you're always working, at a very comfortable height. Once you start working at this height, right, at a reaching height, it gets very tiring, at least for me. It's just very tiring always having to reach above your head. But that's another option, is you just have your trellis height, the structure right here. But that brings other problems, which is if your house trusses are higher, now you've got to create a whole nother structure just to be able to lower it so that you can reach it. Usually they're just out of reach. And this is not actually a very high house. But let's say you have a caterpillar tunnel or something you're doing in it, it's just, you can actually reach up there, then at least you can do it. But I would still prefer something where I don't have to reach, right? So those are your choices on the equipment. And then you have that choice between whether you're going to lean it, right? Where I said you're going to need something a little bit more massive, a wire structure that can hold on, or a hook and wicket where you're just laying them on the wicket. All right, thanks for watching, and till next time.